Hey there, this video is going to talk about our assignments for week 9. So we have 2 this week. We have the exam for module 3 and we have the discussion forum. So let's jump. I'm going to talk a little bit about the exam briefly, and then I'll jump into the discussion forum. So the exam for module 3 is just like the other exam, the end of module exam. So you have all week to take them. No essay questions, a mix of multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank matching. Just a reminder that you need to work independently on the exam, that you can't work together, but you can use your book and your notes, and of course content to take the exam. So the exam covers all content from module 3. It really focuses heavily on your textbook materials, but it does incorporate some of those supplemental materials that have been provided as well. The exam isn't meant to be tricky, so really focusing on the textbook and some of the key themes and takeaways from the semester. So my last note here is just when you're done taking the exam, be sure to click submit so that your exam gets recorded, and make sure you set enough uninterrupted time so that you can finish the exam. Because once you go in, you can't leave the exam and then come back in and take it later. So that's it for the exam. You have all week to take it. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in the discussion this week. It's a little bit different. So our week 9 discussion forum, we're actually going to go back to chapter 8 in our textbook. So we're going to go back. We read chapter 8 during week 8. And the reason that we're doing this is because the helping strategies chapter is really an important chapter in our textbook. And also, that's not to say that chapter 9 on mutual support groups isn't helpful. It's just that we're going to explore that more when we do that chapter 11 or that week 11 assignment, when you go and actually engage and visit a mutual support group. So that's the justification for that. So we're going to actually be back in chapter 8 of our textbook. And so for your primary posts, describe the advantages and disadvantages of solution-focused, motivational interviewing, and cognitive behavioral approaches. So what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages to those approaches? And then number 2, based on your experience and understanding of these approaches, what approach or approaches do you lean toward as you consider your future practice as an LAC? How do your experiences and understanding influence your preferred approach? So as always, for all of this, I want to see you incorporating course materials throughout your answer. And yeah, really interested in learning more about what you are interested in. So in your response posts, what advantages and disadvantages can you identify with these approaches? So look at what your classmate wrote and what is missing from the advantages and disadvantages that they identify. Guess what? There are a lot of them. And so there is a really good chance that your classmate in their original post missed one, and that's okay. Again, I think I might sound like a broken record. This isn't mean to point to, this isn't meant to point out deficiencies in your classmate's primary post. It's to offer a, imagine working on an integrated team with other people. And it's so really to just build that awareness and build that, build that community and those resources for each other. So what else did you identify? And number 2, identify similarities and differences in the preferred approaches that your classmate identified in their posts. And why do you think that these similarities and differences exist between you and your classmate in your preferred approaches? So suss that out a little bit. Think about, what that might be. So primary posts are due on Wednesday, response posts due by Friday. And as always, confidentiality is critical in this class. And here's a link to the grading criteria. So head on over to the homepage if you have questions. Again, I know it's doesn't quite follow the format for answering questions, but we are looking back. We're in the same module looking at that chapter 8 resource. So thanks, everybody. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're leaning towards and what you're thinking in terms of your future practice. Thanks.